Hello Taurus, and welcome. This is going to be your next 48 reading. I'm actually going to make it from September 29th to, no, excuse me, September 27th to September 29th. In the All Signs reading, I did a little bit more talk about astrology. On the 28th, we have Saturn going direct. It will remain in Capricorn and then proceed its way into Aquarius in the coming, I think, month or two. And that is going to be bringing on some limitations and some restrictions, but also some karma. So I know it's interesting. In order to speed up some of these readings, I took a look through the remainder of the deck and I pulled your cards. And what I'm already seeing for some of you, so especially we have Ant in reverse and Root in upright. And what I'm kind of getting the picture of, especially with your other cards, is that some of you may be, it's interesting, actually, the Ant card just fell away onto the floor, and I'm not even going to try to pick it up. And what that tells me is that some of you may have had an infestation or a pest problem. It could be an actual pest problem, could be a personal problem. It could be the root of an issue that you've been dealing with. It could also have to do with like the family tree, so to speak. So it could be childhood issues. Either way, I'm getting the sense that you are gaining some kind of stability through this. And prayers are also a really good, they're a good place to pray. And just like they take in our carbon dioxide, I would switch the two, and give us a fresh oxygen. Goodness, the communication challenges. They also will take our spent energy and give us new energy. So it might be a good time over the next 48 hours to hug a tree or talk to a tree, or maybe talk to somebody that you find very grounding. Either way, I get the sense that as Saturn turns direct, you're going to be noticing that you are much more stable, even in what looks like some kind of confusing energy coming up, because we have the Seven of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. And it's interesting that it's two sevens, because first of all, seven is it's a number of pause and reflection, so it's definitely good to pause and reflect on things, especially anything that's confusing, either emotionally or financially or spiritually. But also 2 sevens equals 14, which is the Temperance card. So it may be that you are feeling extra tempted, or like you know that you need to be patient about some kind of manifestation, that maybe you have a sense that it's near, but you're not seeing it quite yet. There's a little bit of cloudiness in there, or maybe you're getting mixed messages through communication, and so you're like, what you know is true intuitively may be challenged by what is coming towards you in the 3D. Also, interestingly enough, what ended up on the top of the deck is the rose. So there might be something to do with roses. I'm hearing the song, was it "Every Rose Has Its Thorns," right? And that's a really good thing to keep in mind, is that, you know, a rose is partially as beautiful as it is because it has its thorns, not minus them. And their thorns are also there to protect them. It's self-protection from, you know, critters that would eat them up. And roses are very strong. Well, I don't know, look up roses as a totem. It might be worth it. Also, on the bottom of the deck, in the shadow card position, is the High Priestess. And on top is the Ace of Pentacles reversed. So it may be that you're having talks about financial challenges. It may be that you were awaiting a new beginning, either spiritually or financially or even emotionally, and it's delayed. You may be either discussing that or thinking about that a fair amount, or discussing it with others, or someone is discussing it with you. Either way, the High Priestess is, it's funny, it's both Taurus and Virgo energy, but it definitely is some Taurus energy in there. So you're probably going to be feeling kind of in your element, even though you're sort of feeling out of your element. It's sort of a weird set of like shifting timelines, and because the High Priestess is in your shadow card position, what I'm getting the sense of is that this is another time when you're being called really to rely more on your intuition and stay authentic to who you are, but also kind of, it's funny, it's kind of like practicing the pause, but really what needs to be practiced is trusting your intuition over the 3D. Like, don't necessarily neglect the 3D, but trust your intuition. What you know to be true is true. It doesn't mean that things, you know, don't get changed here and there. It doesn't mean that there aren't extra elements that you weren't aware of, or you weren't even supposed to be aware of, or that other challenges might not come in there. But trust your intuition. And when in doubt, meditate. Or pray, or, you know, go find a tree to hug, or talk to somebody that you feel is really grounded and rooted for you, or that gives you an honest opinion of something. I also get the sense there might be some, I don't know, when I was looking through the cards, what I was getting the sense of, Taurus, is that you may find that you actually are receiving a fair amount of justice, in the sense of people recognizing you kind of as the High Priestess, as like a spiritual person who is very intuitive, who knows things, and really like has a really good, strong bullshit detector. And you might be starting to notice, especially as we get closer to the 28th, that there are more people maybe reaching out and saying you were right, or defending your honor, or ending contracts with other people that either hurt you or were intended to retaliate towards you for something either you didn't do or that was perceived, or something along those lines. And you may also be, it could also be that you are doing that for somebody else. Never know. I don't know. I'm just getting the sense of a lot of rights, a lot of wrongs being righted, and kind of like as if like you've been holding on to a lot of I told you so's, and instead of feeling like you had to say it to others, it's more like they are coming to you and saying that they recognize that you did tell them so, and maybe even saying like, you know, that I appreciate the light that you've held up for me, or I appreciate you for being who you are, or I recognize how cool it is to know you, and that you know what you know, and that you did warn me, and even though I didn't listen, and for others they might be thinking that sort of thing, but the light of enlightenment is still a bit too bright. I don't know, Taurus. I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. Let me know in the comments below if you have any particular resonances with this reading, or number 7 or 14, or even the number 5, and with roses. Anyways, please make sure to check out your moon, rising, Mars, Venus, and or North Node signs. I'm going to continue to try to get these readings done. There's a lot of delays going on, especially with the Mars retrograde and Uranus retrograde, but I'm going to keep chugging along, so please pay attention, or please pay attention. Please look for the notifications if you've subscribed, and I will get these readings to you as often as I can. All right, Taurus, I'll see you in the next video.